How's it going, guys? Alex here. Welcome back to another Dokkan battle video, and today I'm going to be ranking every single Super Saiyan 3 Goku in the game in before they release a new one. But yeah, that's pretty much it, and I'm going to probably do it in a different manner today, and this is where I kind of need your feedback. Do you prefer the manner that I did it in today, which of course you will find out in a few moments, or do you just prefer the original way that I do it, which of course is going all over all the units and then ranking them at the end? And today I'm just essentially going to be ranking them from the start because this is a bit of a longer one. I think that's what I'll do from now on, to be honest. If it's a bit of a longer one, I'll just rank them from the start instead of doing the coverage of, you know, all the units at first and then the ranking at the end, just to save a bit more time because I don't want the video to be like 30 minutes long. And the second question is, do you prefer early uploads or late uploads? And I know this can be kind of confusing because of time zones and such, but normally what I try to do and fail terribly at is try to upload at 2 p.m. GMT time and then 4 p.m. GMT, but the majority of the time I tend to upload at 9 and then like 11 or 12ish. So let me know which times you prefer, because I would imagine that later on in the day the majority of you are out of school. But when it comes to earlier uploads, some people may prefer it because they have something to watch in the morning. So let me know in the comment section down below as always. But let's go ahead and get started. So I just want to confirm that there is a total of 8 units unless I somehow managed to miss out on a Super Saiyan 3 Goku. So in the last spot comes the Super Saiyan 3 Angel Goku, the physical one, which of course he can obtain from the barbershop with 777 gems, and then he Dokkan awakens from a Super Saiyan 2 into a Super Saiyan 3. His leader skill gives a 30% stat boost to STR and physical types as well as free key, causes supreme damage with a rare chance to stun. Of course that rare chance to stun is around 15%, and his passive gives him free key as well as a 7,000 attack and defensive boost. And if we move on to his links, he has Golden Warrior, Super Saiyan, the Saiyan lineage, Over in the Flash, Limit Breaking Form, Revival, and Fierce Battle. And of course he is in the Revived Warrior category, Margin Boost Saga, and Super Saiyan 3. He does have a 12 key multiplier of 130%, which is probably one of the lower 12 key multipliers here. And of course his super attack is farmable like a few of the other units in this list. But the worst thing about him by far is the fact that he does have a flat out increase, and it's just so outdated. It's like, why are you doing this to my boy Super Saiyan 3 Goku? Because Super Saiyan 3 used to be my favorite form. It's like, when I see a Super Saiyan 3 done dirty, it's just like, why? Why would you do this, man? Like, why? But to be honest, for a free unit, I don't think we can necessarily complain. I kind of wish that they did turn that flat out increase into a percentage increase because you'd be much better. And if you have any of the other Angel Gokus, it's just like, yeah, I am never going to use this guy. But again, if you don't have an Angel Goku, of course you can use just the regular Super Saiyan 3 and the Angel Goku alongside, which is obviously a good combination. But because there is a better free version of this card, it's just like, yeah, I think I'm going to go for the better version. But again, if you don't have any other options for a Super Saiyan 3 Goku or just a Super Saiyan 3 in general for a Bardock lead or a Revived Warrior lead, you can go ahead and use this guy. He isn't bad by any means, but again, the flat out increase does ruin him. And the fact that 3 units don't get that much of an increase from the potential system in comparison to some of the other units certainly does hurt him. And now we have in the number 7 spot, almost said 8 there. In the number 7 spot, we have the Super Saiyan 3 Goku from GT. He does awaken from a Super Saiyan 2, if I'm not mistaken. But he does awaken from a Super Saiyan 2. This says right there. So he awakens into a Super Saiyan 3 Goku, obviously, and he's a very interesting card because if you do not have Omega Shenron, you can run this one as a lead, which is kind of weird because Omega's a villain, and then you have like a hero lead for that category. It's just like, why? But his leader skill gives a 50% health and attack boost to a Shadow Dragon Saga team, and obviously the 2 key. But you are missing out on the defensive boost, which can be somewhat bad. It depends on the team that you are running, because of course if you were to take an Omega Shenron friend, he does have that debuff from the passive, which will allow the majority of your units to tank a bit better. But then you have Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, who is capable of tanking, so it depends on your team overall. Honestly, not getting that defensive boost, I wouldn't say is that much of a detriment to your team, but the health and attack boosts are the most important thing the majority of the time. So it's a pretty decent lead if you want to run a Shadow Dragon Saga team, but he does cause supreme damage and raises the attack of all your allies by 20% for 1 turn. He gives 2 key, 2 tech, and physical types, and a 25% attack and defensive boost. So it's a bit of a weird one, the way that they word his passive. Initially, I thought that the boost that he gave was to himself, but it turns out that it is for everyone else, which is why I was a bit confused. I thought, wait, is he seriously just giving a 25% attack boost to himself? No, that's for all your allies. So he's a pretty decent support unit. Obviously, you don't have to use him as a lead, but if you want to have a support unit for that Shadow Dragon team, then he is going to be a decent option. And of course his links are Golden Warrior, Kamehameha, Super Saiyan, Over in a Flash, GT, Limit Breaking Form, and Fierce Battle. Of course the main link for this particular team is going to be GT. Over in Flash isn't necessarily that common. Of course you do have Super Saiyan Full Gogeta, who he will shout out link with, but apart from that there aren't that many units in this particular category who have the Over in a Flash link. But it doesn't even matter that much because he has GT and he also gives a 2 key to physical and tech types. But again, certain units won't benefit from this, like Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta and such, but for the most part linking isn't going to be an issue. But he does come in the number 7 spot, and of course one thing I did forget to mention is that he has a 12Q multiplier of 135%. That's not exactly that important because he isn't meant to hit hard. And now we have the number 6 spot, and this is where we are starting to get into the more controversial territory, and it depends on certain situations and such, but you can run this unit alongside the Agility Rebirth Super Saiyan 3 GOKU one. But I feel because of the way that the Super Saiyan 3 category is, and because of how many powerful units are in it, and how much of a significant increase certain units get, well, all units get from that particular lead, it's just like, is there even any point in having a support unit there unless you want to like go overkill? Realistically, with a rotation of hard-hitting units, you should be able to take out an entire event. If you have Super Saiyan 3 Bardock, the Extreme Z Awakened Goku, Tech Angel Goku, the free-to-play one, there are just so many options. If you have any of those units, okay, you can't run free-to-play Angel Goku and the Tech Super Saiyan 3, the summonable one, together, but that's not the point. The point is, if you were to have an entire rotation of extremely powerful units, is there really any need for a support unit? That's the way that I personally see it, but that's just when it comes to the Super Saiyan 3 category in particular. If you to compare it to the STR team and rank it in that particular order, it could maybe come out differently, but personally I feel like he comes in a spot, just taking into account that the categories are just such a major part of the game right now, that's like, yeah, categories have to come into play here. Personally, I do feel like he should come in the number 6 spot. This is probably going to be the most interchangeable one, along with the next card, which of course I will go over in a few moments. But he, the Super Saiyan 3 GT Goku, the Great Ape, of course does give the 33% attack boost to STR types per STR orb obtained, so of course he is the STR type lead for the new king. He causes supreme damage and raises his own attack for 3 turns, and he gives a 33% attack boost to all of your allies, may turn into a Great Ape, which is like a 10% chance or something along those lines. Link skill, Super Saiyan, Kamehameha, Limit Breaking Form, Over in a Flash, GT, Saiyan, Raw, Fierce Battle. So of course Over in a Flash is going to be the most common link on a Super Saiyan 3 category lead by far, because it's just full of Super Saiyan 3s, but there really isn't that much else to say about him, apart from the fact that the Great Ape mode is extremely annoying, but what he provides in terms of like that increase from his passive is honestly insane in certain teams. Obviously we have seen this multiple times with Super Saiyan 4 Goku and this Goku in particular, but when it comes to a Super Saiyan 3 category, I don't necessarily think it's as necessary. It's not to say that he is a bad unit on that team, but talking from an optimal standpoint, I definitely feel like he isn't extremely necessary. And now, honestly, we have my favourite Super Saiyan 3 Goku of the bunch. We have the STR one. And again, like I said before, this is interchangeable with the number 6 spot. It just personally depends on what you want to run. And of course, if you have the Agility one, you can't run this one. And there are just so many multiple scenarios like that in this particular video. That's just like, well, I'm just going to rank them in the order that I personally see them. And of course, if you do disagree, let me know in the comment section down below. But his leader skill is nothing special. 30% attacks at all types. Granted, that was a pretty damn good leader skill once he was released. But now it's just like, yeah, nothing special. Causes supreme damage and lowers defense. Honestly, really hope this guy gets an Extreme Z Awakening because he's an absolute beast. But moving on, he gets an 80% attack boost when health is 30% or above. Golden Warrior, Saiyan, Warrior Race, Super Saiyan, Over in a Flash, Limit Breaking Form, Fierce Battle, Supreme Power. Of course, he is part of the Margin Boost saga as well as the Super Saiyan 3 saga, or Super Saiyan 3 category. And he also has a 12Q multiplier of 140%. And looking at his stats, they are honestly somewhat low, I'd say, because there are definitely some SSRs in the game that have stats like that, but it comes back to the fact that he is kind of an old unit, and that 80% that he gets is good, but I kind of would have preferred if that was like 100%, but the issue of having that at 100%, pardon me, is the fact that the Agility one would have had something higher because, of course, he was the Transcended Ultra Rare at the time. Well, they are technically both Transcended Ultra Rares, but the Agility one was a Dokkan Fest, so to have the STR one be somewhat on par with the Agility one was just a no-no, so it's like, yeah, that's definitely not going to happen. But I definitely hope that he gets some sort of Extreme Z Awakening in the future, just so that he does improve. But I do have him at 100% on the global version of the game, so I'm really curious to see how well he performs on a Super Saiyan 3 Bardock lead. But overall, not much else to say about him, to be honest, just the fact that he is inferior to the Agility one, so it's like, especially if you have him Extreme Z Awakened, like, absolutely no contest. You could potentially argue that the STR one is better prior to the Extreme Z Awakening, but the way that things are now, it's just like, yeah, I'm sorry, buddy, you're my favorite one, but you're going to be here in the number 5 spot. And now moving on to the number 4 spot, which may or may not surprise a few people, but the reason why he is here is literally because of the rebirth, or actually, it's a Dokkan Awakening that he just received, but his leader skill gives a 60% stat boost to all types, causes supreme damage, and raises attack for 3 turns. He gets a 90% attack and defensive boost. He has Golden Warrior, Super Saiyan Kamehameha, Over in a Flash, GT, Limit Breaking Form, and Fierce Battle, and of course he is part of the Super Saiyan 3 category, 12k multiplier of 140%, and the reason why he is above the STR one, for one, he has a super attack mechanic that raises his own attack. He gets a bigger increase from his passive, no restriction. I mean, the restriction isn't even that much of an issue, but it's still kind of there. But the boost that he gets is also applied to his defense, so he can be able to tank in certain situations, especially if you're given potential system buffs. So overall, he is going to be hitting harder, especially because he gets a bigger increase, he raises his own attack, and he also has the Kamehameha link. So overall, he is going to be hitting harder, even if it's not that by such a significant amount. He doesn't have as high of an attack stat, but there are several things about the card that make up for that. And because damage is easily like the most important thing, it's like, well, you don't necessarily need a tanking, but this guy is going to hit extremely hard, especially because of the way that it works with the super attack mechanic. So he does end up coming in the number 4 spot. And now number 3, which is probably going to surprise a lot of people, maybe not, to be honest, that's just what I think from the top of my head. So he gives a 30% stat boost to tech types as well as the free key, causes supreme damage. Now this is where things get absolutely wild, okay? So he has a farmable super attack for 1, 12k multiply of 135%, high chance of attack going up by 180%, Golden Warrior, Super Saiyan Kamehameha, Over in a Flash, Limit Breaking Form, Blazing Battle, and Fierce Battle. So the increase that he gets is double of what the Agility Super Saiyan 3 GT Goku gets, which is absolutely ridiculous. And he also has a great link set. He has Fierce Battle, he has Super Saiyan, he has Limit Breaking Form. Granted, the majority of the other units have that as well, but even when he isn't getting his passive to go off, he is still going to be hitting extremely hard because of these particular links. Granted, some people may not like the RNG of the passive. I know that I absolutely hate RNG passives, but you definitely can't deny how hard this guy is going to hit. He is without a doubt going to be hitting harder than the previous ones on this list. Like, you can easily bet on that. So again, he is part of the Revive Warrior category, Margin Boost Saga, Super Saiyan 3, and if you don't have a Tech Angel Goku, who's obviously on this list, a summonable one by the way, then you're definitely going to be using this one just because of how powerful he is. I'm surprised that they made a free-to-play unit that's good, and he does have a farmable super attack. He is just such a good unit. Take aside, just put aside that RNG, okay? 180% to attack. No unit in the game even comes close to that type of increase, apart from Beerus, who already gets to 200. I think Charmer gets 200 as well, but that's not the point. That is not the point. When it comes to free-to-play unit, he is by far the best one. I would definitely say, if he's not the best one, he is definitely up there, just because of how much of a significant increase he gets. The unfortunate side of things is that if you do have this summonable Super Saiyan 3 Goku, it's like, well, I can't use this guy. And that was one of my main arguments. Maybe I should put him a bit lower on the list, just simply because if you don't, if you do have the other Super Saiyan 3 Goku, you won't be able to use this one. But just going off what they can personally do and not taking into account that you can't use multiple on the same team, it's like, yeah, this guy is definitely going to be coming in the number 3 spot, just because of how significant his increase is from the passive. But again, you can debate this in the comment section down below, but personally, I definitely feel like he belongs here, especially because of the Super Saiyan 3 category. And again, if you don't have the other Angel Goku, he is going straight on your team. He is honestly just below Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks and a few other units, honestly, and Broly, of course. You know what, that's a completely different list for a completely different video, but he definitely does end up coming in the number 3 spot. And in the number 2 spot, we have the other Angel Goku, who of course is the lead for Super Tech types. Causes immense damage with a rare chance to stun, and of course that chance to stun is around 15%. He gets a 120% attack boost, and I did mention this in my previous video with D3, who haven't seen that already. Me and D3 went over the top 5 tech type units in the game, so go ahead and check that out. And he also gets a 20% attack boost per rainbow orb obtained, and that's just such a forgettable part of his card, but it can give him a total of a 100% attack boost, which in total would give him 220%, which is a massive boost. And of course, he has the exact same links as the previous one, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, I think that the previous one had Blazing Battle instead of Revival, but he is on the exact same categories: Revived Warrior, Margin B Saga, Super Saiyan 3. You can't deny how great of a unit this guy is. The fact that he could potentially get a 220% attack boost is crazy. It's not going to happen the majority of the time, because I think he can consistently get around 2 or 3 orbs, which is still a 40 to 60% increase, but the fact that he can get that attack stat to go up by that significant amount is honestly great. And you can farm the super attack for this guy if you want to spend the Zenny and Awakening medals, but overall there isn't too much to say about this guy. He would have been first if a certain someone didn't come out of nowhere and just return to the top of this list. And of course, we have the Agility Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Unfortunately, his card doesn't currently show you here, which is a bit of a shame, but I'm pretty certain that I can remember what he does off the top of my head. So he does have the Super Vegeta or Leader skill. He gives a 70% to Agility types as well as free key. Causes immense damage and greatly lowers defense. He gets a 120% attack boost, and restriction still applies, by the way. And I believe he also gets a 70% defensive boost, which is kind of there, obviously, but so he will be able to tank a bit better, especially because of how high his defensive stat is going to be. But that's not exactly the most important part about the card, but it's still kind of there, if you know what I mean. But overall, he gets the 120% attack boost. Super attack level 15. Unfortunately, I cannot find his 12 multiplier, but I believe it's either, well, his base 12 multiplier anyways 140%, but it could have either gone up to 150 or just stayed the same. But the point is, immense damage, 120% attack boost, 12 multiplier of either 140% or 150%. He is the 8th hardest hitter in the game, the only agility type unit on the top 10 hardest hitters list, and taking away the legendary rares, which just shows you how powerful of a unit he is. But overall, 100%, definitely taking that #1 spot. The Super Saiyan 3 Goku, the Angel one, isn't that far behind, but because of what this Goku provides offensively, it's just like, yeah, it's absolutely no question which one is going to come first. Again, you can debate it in the comment section down below. And if you didn't Extreme Z Awaken, honestly, I still kind of feel like he would be in the top 5, but most certainly wouldn't be in the #1 spot. But because of how crazy high his stats are, they basically give you the orbs to 100% him, which is like, yeah, how can you not keep him at #1? But I hope you guys did enjoy the video as always. And if you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more. Manage to keep it on at 20 minutes somehow. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below as always. Let me know your list, and yeah, hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you all in the next one.